Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to share how we've enrolled hundreds of clients without using marketing or sales that have sucked.
And if you stay tuned, we're going to go through the old way of marketing and getting clients and the new called coach approach and how I might even sing. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So one of the things we wanted to talk, well, actually, I want to talk about my shirt right now. One is if you enroll clients and they get amazing results and they love you and what you've done for them, they will send you shirts.
You may even get a t-shirt.
And that's what's awesome about being able to make an impact, not just with clients, but also through the marketing and through the sales of the process, right? Like the process of enrolling clients. And so we want to get into really the called coach approach, and we want to talk about the old way of doing things. So the one thing that our clients are all out for in the called coach approach, the number one thing is abundance. And what's the opposite of abundance? It's scarcity. So the old way of marketing and sales is very scarcity based. It's very pushy, it's very salesy, and it doesn't care about the person, right? It just is just out for money. It's just out for numbers. It's just out to get a client, and they don't really care if that client is really the ideal person for the program. I
just need money in my account. I will sign anyone.
Yes. And that's why you're seeing a lot of people running around, and you think that these guarantees are actually a great thing. Like, oh, I'll get you all these results. There is a coach that got to 7 figures, was doing $100,000 a month, and was enrolling all these people. And he had this guarantee that, like, if I don't get you to $100,000, he was probably doing more than 100,000. If I don't get you to $100,000 a month, I will blah, 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 whatever the guarantee was.
Wow.
And he literally just shut down his business and disappeared.
I heard about that. I
deleted off his social media.
He got attacked by the FTC.
Yes.
There are rules and regulations, my friends.
Rules and regulations.
Yeah.
So that is the old way, right? That's the scarcity-based way. But what does really abundance mean to us?
So abundance really falls into different things, right? It's, yes, cash collected and all of that stuff is amazing, but it's also having this life of freedom, being able to travel with your family when you want to travel, be with your family, not have to sacrifice. I'm a family person, not have to sacrifice family if that's your jam, or maybe it's just to travel and to go work by the pool or whatever it is that you want to do. You have that freedom within your life. It's impact, right? We work with people who are like the only people we work with are out to make a deep transformation with their clients. Impact is something that drives you. It's what fires you up. It's why you feel like you are on this earth, right? And also income, right? It's building that wealth, not just for you, but for like your legacy wealth for generations to come. How can you create this life of abundance while making a deep impact, having this freedom and building this great wealth for you and your family?
Yes. And so freedom, what's the opposite? The old way is like hustle forever, right? And you have a good thing on hustle, and I'll let you talk about that in a second. But I really want to talk about like this, like forever hustle. Like your business is a grind. It's constantly hustling. It's constantly, you're not working hard enough. And if you get into some of these programs, it's like if you don't do it their way, it's like you're doing it wrong. You're not committed. You are
not messaging 100 people a day, working 16 hours a day, then you're not serious about your business.
Yes. And that's not freedom.
And you're wrong.
Right. Now,
no.
Sorry. No, that's true. That's very much the case in for some programs and the way it comes up. So talk about
so I'll say there's like a point that hustle is necessary, right? The problem is when hustle becomes, you don't get out of the hustle. So I think that it's necessary at every point. When we became entrepreneurs, when we became coaches, we made a decision that the life that we were living isn't working for us anymore. And we had to make that decision. And the moment you made that decision, you started to be a cause in your life, right? And when you are cause of your life, you take action, you do what you need to do. anything that is required, I am here, I am ready, I'm going to do it because this past right here is a non-negotiable. I am not going back there. So there's a point that all of this, it will take action. There is a little bit of a hustle. The problem is when you become stuck on it because you're driving and you're like, I got to go and do these things and do these things. What happens to your nervous system and your cortisol levels if you stay in that, which I see a lot of coaches staying in this, that's when the problem becomes that's when the problems will start coming up into your health. I've had some massive burnout in my past from this hustle phase. So it's important because in this hustle phase, that's where you create your process, your systems. You're going out there, you're creating this cash flow that you need because you have a business. That's what business is about. You need the cash flow, you need the clients, you need your processes, you need to set up all of this stuff. So there is a bit of a hustle. So I like to be very balanced here. Is like we're taking action. And there's a point, like it's part of this ascension process where you step into this entrepreneurship coach journey. You got to step into the hustle a bit. There's actions to be taken. You got to show up. You got to be persistent. You got to have grit. You have to have audacity. Like all of those things are necessary. And then as you heal and you walk out of that past circumstance that's no longer, you're then able to start rewiring your nervous system of like, hey, this can actually have ease and flow and alignment and just absolute presentness where you don't feel like you're hustling, but you're getting action done. You're not trying to prove to everyone like, look, I can do this, to this is who I am. This is who I be in the world, right? And that's an ascension and that's a process. I've yet to see someone successful of like, I'm going to start this business and it is going to be ease and flow and it's going to be amazing. And they are out there, right? And they probably aren't getting the results that they want to get. So it's
a facade, right? I feel like there's a lot of especially in the spiritual world, there's a lot of coaches that are faking flow, they're faking ease, or faking, I just sit around and twiddle myself all day, and that's like my whole life, right? Like that's like what I do for income producing activity.
And then in the background, I'm sure they're very frustrated and they have a lot of things going on emotionally that they're not talking about because they haven't gone through the process of healing and the hustle of what the actions that are necessary to build a business are required of them.
Or they're doing those actions. They're actually doing the hustle, but they're pretending to be we're just chilling today, like nothing, but like showing up 1,000 times and like pretending to be you're hustling the idea of flow and doing nothing. Like it's just silly, right? And so
use discernment, my friends. It is one of the most key pieces, is being discerning. Energy doesn't lie, right? And that's a big part of the work that we do, is the energetics, the healing, the reprogramming of your nervous system, but also taking the actions that are in alignment to who you are. Right? This is the new way, is coming back home to who you really are, what your calling is, what you're here to do, what your soul gifts are. How do you move best in the world? And being able to take those gifts and that genius and focus in and create your marketing and your strategy around those gifts.
And that's a good place to go to. Is next is impact, right? So there's impact of like, this is your calling. This is what this isn't you don't have a purpose, you are a purpose. And so it's like so it's not about you, it's about your mission, your purpose, the impact that you're out to make. You're called by something higher to make this impact. And the old way is like all about you and your selfish needs, your things. Like, I'm doing this for significance, right? I'm being out here and doing all these things for being significant.
Look at me, I'm worthy.
Look at me, I'm an author. Look at me, I'm a coach. Look at me, I'm on this podcast. Look at me. But it's like the new way is doing this for a higher calling, for that calling inside, that deep, that's like called at another level. It is your purpose that's making this difference in these people and the transformation with them.
You're leading from heart, you're leading from soul. You're able to get to this place of stillness and get into the shoes of other people without throwing all of your energy into the people, right? Because that's boundaries and all of that stuff, protecting your energy. But it's being able to come from a space of compassion and empathy, and how can I serve people? Not like, what can I say that is so great about me, and like, hey, look at me, guys. But it's like, how can I genuinely serve others by getting into their world and seeing what it is that they do? And I think that has been the biggest thing for us, and how we've been able to enroll so many clients is we don't do a typical like marketing, like bro marketer, hey, let's go, build our fancy funnel and run all of the ads. And like, it's genuinely been, how can I serve you? Right? When we made this video, like, what can we talk about that is going to be of highest service to you?
I just actually, something came to me. Is like, there's actually another side of this, because we're kind of in this middle, right? Of like this compassion, but and love side of things. But like, there's the other way to side, the other, like, getting sucked into people's world. So like, this non-freedom looks like you're pleasing all your clients. You're on 100 calls, like doing emergency things, and you're getting,
they message you at 5 a.m, and like, if I wake up very early, but I have a very sacred time in the morning, but you're like, oh, they went through my sacred time. They need you.
Right? Yeah, they need you. And it's like, you get sucked into their drama, and you get sucked into the trauma of what they're going through, and you're just kind of stuck in this, like, you're being held hostage by your clients, instead of like holding those boundaries and being able to be powerful in really supporting them.
That's really good.
But not getting sucked into their stuff, right?
Yeah. It's more like, you're outside of the whole, like, hey, I got you. Hold on, let me give you a rope.
Yeah. And there's the bro marketer side that's like, hey, idiot, why did you jump in the hole? And then there's the
let me get in the hole with you.
Yeah, let's jump in the hole with you. And it's like that happy medium of like getting the rope and throwing it in and helping them out.
That's so good.
I know, it is so good. Wow. There's some but the third one is the wealth, right? So it's like, there again, the new way is wealth for contribution, right? Wealth for legacy. Like, how can you actually set up your kids, your grandkids, your whatever generations down, and be able to not enable them, but to empower them, right? And then being able to actually contribute legacy and contribute to give back to different nonprofits, and or create your own nonprofit, or be able to offer free space, maybe like a spot, like a what do you call it, a sponsorship, right? Or the thing that they do in college was a scholarship for your program. And then, so we had one client, you'd fill 9 spots, and then his 10th one he would give for free to a vet, for a military vet. And so that was super awesome. Then others, we give away a percentage of our profits to a charity that saves kids that are being sex trafficked. So that's huge, right? Like, that's an option. Or maybe you want to actually have your own nonprofit. You don't see there's like a need that needs to be served, and you can actually make a ton of money in your business and be able to take a percentage of that and give it to the nonprofit.
Yeah, we have clients who do that as well.
Yep. So there's that side of it too. And so, but the other side of it is like a very selfish base money. It's like money to buy things, which is totally cool. You can buy things, but it's like you can have all the things for its abundance. But it's like again, it's the significance. It's like, look at me, I got this new Lamborghini, or look at me, I have this big house. Not like, okay, I'm going to have this big house so that I can make a bigger difference, because I can have clients come through and it's going to be amazing experience and show them luxury, and be able to, really contribute back to people and show people what's really possible. There's like a difference between like, look at me, I'm so great because I have all this stuff, and hey, this is going to inspire somebody.
Yeah. And I feel like once you get up into that level of abundance, that stuff is like, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
So And it's just a being, right? This is all in the being of old way versus new way. So it's good.
Yeah. So I think the best thing for us to do is to actually make this a multi-part series. Because this is already, we're going deep on just this part. This is like
3 out of the whole thing. So what you want to do is make sure you are subscribed if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, so that you can look forward to these next episodes where we're going to talk and break down how you can transform your marketing so that it doesn't suck. How do you create that messaging and put this all together in a way that just absolutely lights you up, and it gives you that freedom that you're out for, that impact that you are here for, and to build that legacy wealth that you know you're here to create, that can make contribution to others, the passions that you're passionate about, and to your own family. So make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next video.